When this woman saw her 8-week scan, she immediately knew something was wrong. When one woman discovered she was pregnant, she was consumed by excitement. More than anything, she couldn't wait to set her eyes on her baby at her 8-week scan. However, not long after her ultrasound technician had turned on the screen, she realized what the image was telling her, and her heart sank. The woman was Emily Christine Fauver, who was originally from Oregon but now lives in Louisiana with husband Dylan. Emily works as an online fitness coach. Dylan, meanwhile, is an Air Force pilot, but for both of them, there was only one dream job: being a parent. So when Emily fell pregnant in late 2016, the news delighted the couple. Emily in particular couldn't wait for the months ahead. She was going to cherish every milestone, and for her, the first of these was her routine 8-week ultrasound scan. Indeed, the 25-year-old mom-to-be simply couldn't wait to see her baby on screen. What's more, she knew exactly what to expect, having cooed over her friend's own scan pictures and searched the hashtag 8weeks tag on Instagram. But while Emily may have felt duly prepared for her ultrasound as a result, she may never have predicted what would happen next. Emily later relayed the event of the day of her scan in a Facebook post. "My heart was beating out of my chest. This was exciting," she wrote in January 2017. "This was a day my husband and I had been waiting for over a year." However, when the technician started the scan, hers looked nothing like the images she had researched online. Where there should have been a baby, there was simply a blank space. "I saw nothing because my body was just hours away from miscarrying," Emily revealed in her heartbreaking post. And all at once, Emily and Dylan's world fell apart around them. "I remember holding back the tears with every ounce of my being and not being able to look my husband in the face," Emily recalled on Facebook. "I knew his pain would break me." Her doctors then explained to Emily what would happen to her next and sent her home to let her body naturally run its course. But although she'd had some forewarning, the distraught Emily felt completely unprepared for what would occur in the wake of her devastating pregnancy news. "What the doctor didn't warn me about was everything that would happen after the initial heartbreak and pain," Emily explained. "She didn't tell me I was going to be reminded for weeks to come because my body was going to take that long to clean out. She didn't tell me I was going to have to watch my husband weep," Emily added. "She didn't tell me how hard it was going to be to tell my mom what had happened. She didn't tell me that my body was going to continue thinking it was pregnant for weeks to come." Emily continued, "She didn't tell me how hard it was going to be to tell people I was fine when I wasn't. She didn't tell me that this was going to make me a jealous person overnight. Heartrendingly," she concluded, "and she didn't tell me that it was going to be so hard losing someone I'd never met." And Emily also revealed that the entire experience had left her feeling alone. Plenty of other women may have had some ideas of what she was going through, however. Indeed, according to the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, 10% to 25% of pregnancies end in miscarriage. That meant that it was likely that Emily knew someone else who had also experienced miscarriage. As a result, she decided to open up about what she was going through to her family and friends. And that's when she discovered that her mom, aunt, and sister had all suffered miscarriages too. "It wasn't until I started talking about it to my friends and family that I slowly realized I wasn't alone," Emily said on Facebook. However, she was sure that she wasn't the only one to feel isolated by the heartbreaking experience of miscarriage, so she took to the social media to tell her own tale. "People may wonder why I choose to talk about this after months have passed," Emily would write on Facebook, "but it's the harsh reality that time really doesn't heal all wounds, so I'm hoping sharing my story will help with the healing process. I'm not looking for pity and I'm not looking for answers," she added in her defiant post. "I am sharing this so that maybe one less woman will feel alone and use this as a reminder or message that there is hope after this heartbreak." And it seemed as if Emily's message resonated with many people. Indeed, after it had received a lot of attention on her own Facebook page, Love What Matters then picked the post up and 30,000 people went on to share it from there. Among those who saw the post, moreover, were countless women who had been through similar experiences to Emily. And after the success of her Facebook post, Emily told the Daily Mail in January of 2017 why she decided to open up. "The reason I decided to go public was because I had so many different feelings during the time my miscarriage occurred," she said. "I felt alone. I felt like it was my fault. I felt like I wasn't allowed to cry, and I knew if I felt all these things, I couldn't have been the only one." She added to the newspaper, "I knew that so many other women had to have felt what I did, and maybe if I had enough courage to share my story, maybe one day women would not feel alone. And maybe if I shared my story, they would know it was okay to cry and okay to talk about it." Now, however, Emily and Dylan are hopeful about what the future has in store. "I've had an amazing doctor through all this. Since this was my second miscarriage, they've taken precautions to make sure this doesn't happen again," Emily explained to the Daily Mail. She added, "We're excited and look forward to having a family one day because we're sure that will happen."